Alright, let's finish this thing off. If a polynomial function has an even number of repeated zeros, the graph will bounce. Now, if it has an odd number of repeated zeros, then the graph will dance at the zero and pass through. Okay, so even amounts of zeros bounce, odd numbers scoot and pass through. So pause if you need to add a little bit to that, and let's keep going. All right, graph the function, determine the end behavior, and find any zeros. Okay, so the first thing, I'm almost positive you can just find those zeros without me. So try it, and if you need help, then just keep going. Otherwise, pause or fast forward. 0, 0, 0. So I know that there are 3 zeros here. So I've got 1 at -5, 1 at 2, and 1 at 1. So I'm not giving you graph paper on these. It's easier literally just to sketch it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to have a 0 here at -5, a 0 at 1, and a 0 at 2. All right, end behavior. I know 1, 2, 3, so it's going to start low and high. How do I know it starts low? There's no negative signs in front of any of the x's, so it just goes up, down, up, down. No, it goes up, down, up, and then it didn't go back down. There you go. That's good enough. We're just sketching right now. So really what I'm looking for, end behavior, do you know that it turns at some point in time? Where does it cross? This doesn't have any zeros that bundle up. Now this one, right away you should notice this right here. So something's going to happen. I'm going to find my zeros. My zeros are at 1.5, I think, because -2x plus 1 equals 0, so -1, -1. -2x equals -1 divided by -2 divided by -2. So I've got a 0 at +1/2. Plus. And then right here, I've got a 0 at 2, but because of that squared, I'm going to say I've got multiplicity, M-U-L-T-I-plicity 2. So that means that's going to bounce. So, all right, I've got, I don't even have to go over here. I'm going to say 1, 2 right there. So I've got a 0 at 1/2, and I've got something happening at 2. So how many x's are in here? If I FOILed this whole thing out, I would have an x to the third. Now does it start high or start low? Because of this right here, it's your basic slope, instead of going positive, is going to be like that. So I start high, and I go down through here, and then I come back up. But do you see how there's a multiplicity at the 2? So it's going to bounce and come back down. Does that still look like the mother function? Still kind of facing down negative? Yep. There it is. All right. Graph the function, determine the end behavior, and find any zeros. Okay, so the ultimate goal is to graph the function. Before I can graph the function, because I don't want you to use decimals, I want you to like find the stuff and then graph from there and sketch it from there. So determine the end behavior. What's your degree? It's to the 4th. So it's either going to kind of be WE or ME. How do you know? Because it's 4th, and then here, so the basic gist is going to be like that. So, end behavior. How do I write that? I say, well, the limit as x approaches -infinity, and the limit as x approaches +infinity. So both of them, it starts low, ends low. There you go. All right, now determine any zeros. What do you think? All right, so I have the two limits, and I don't know how to find zeros from that. Whatever am I going to do? Oh, maybe that's why it said graph the function first. Okay, so let's graph it. So grab your graphing calculator, or and so that you can use Spidey. I would rather you use graphing calculators today because I'm not going to let you use Desmos on this test. At the same time, oh, yep, okay, so I'm going to go graph it on my graphing calculator. All right, so here's my graphing calculator. When you go in there, let's see, is it going to graph? Oh, zoom fit. I'm going to try zoom fit. What even is zoom fit? Zoom. I think zoom fit must be zoom 0. And so I'm going to get down to there and see if that helps me. Zoom fit, enter. All right, so graph. Oh no, I have an error. Do you know how to fix an error when you get an error? I actually did it on purpose. I know exactly what my error is, but just in case you made the same error. See this right here? That says go to, not goto. It says go to, you just hit 2 and it tells you where the issue is. What's my issue? Use a minus. Okay, so graph, and I don't think that's helping me because if I look back here, what do I know? I know that it's got to look like this. I should have 4 zeros, so this is not giving me all that I want of the graph. So if you're like, Beaver, I got the graph stuff, then fast forward through this. But some of you need this part. Okay, so this isn't really working for me, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to now go into my window and figure out, what does it even say? 0 to 15. Well, I think that I'm going to have a 0 on the other side. So I'm just going to tweak it because, well, life, 2. Because life needs tweaking sometimes. What did I do? I did the minus. Okay. And then I'm going to go to 10 and we'll see what that will look like. X scale of 1. All right. The Y minimum, negative that. Well, that's not helping me at all because I want to know where my zeros are. So I'm going to go down in here and say, I don't know, negative 5. Let's see if that helps us. It said the max was at 21. Well, okay. I'm going to make that nicer. Let's say 22 and see what happens. Oh, great. But I've got to go higher. But actually, do I even care if I'm just sketching? I know it goes up and then it turns right here. So what does that mean about 2 of my zeros? 2 of my zeros are going to be imaginary. So really I care about this one and this one. So it doesn't matter how high this goes. So how am I going to find this? How do I find a root? I go to second trace. And what am I looking for? A 0, a minimum. I'm looking for a 0. So here I go. And Spidey, you're not where I want you to be. Oop! I think Spidey came by real fast. Okay, so there's to the right, so I gotta be to the left. It disappears, so I'm just gonna assume that's over here. Yep, okay. And then I go 1 to the right. I think that's higher than the 0, so 1 was lower, 1 was higher. All right, and enter. At negative 3.426, so that wasn't gonna factor out very nicely. And then, so negative 3.426. Negative 3.426. That's like this one. And then, what is my other one? I don't know. I gotta go back. Let's find Spidey again. I'm gonna go second trace. I want to find a 0. Spidey, where are you? Oh, the left bound. I can just move until I'm... Okay, that's good. So enter, and then I want to go right bound. Oh, that's good enough because I'm below the line now. There it is, enter, and 1.770. 1.770. 1.770. So that gives me 2 zeros that I have. Now, again, it's super important that you know that there's got to be 4. So 2 of them are real, 2 of them are imaginary. in general, I want you to do it by hand, but if you look at that and you're like, nope, I got nothing, then go with it. So, beautiful. You now have enough information to do this part of the assignment. We'll come back to it tomorrow and learn some new stuff. Have a great day, everybody.